people, how are we today? Steve Mingleco, Final Web Design. Just gonna start. Hey, if you're liking these videos, leave a like, leave a subscribe. This stuff helps. Want to say at the beginning this time. But today's video, let's go into the topic of the whole industry and just having so much to learn and too much to learn. And how do you really address that? How do you take it in? How do you really, find out what's important as opposed to just kind of deep diving into everything, because it is overwhelming and there's way too many technologies. Things are always evolving, things are always changing. And all I can say to that is that you really have to go with the core fundamentals. Now, not everybody knows everything. You can find the top, software engineer at Google, and they're not going to know every single thing that's out there, because honestly, the industry is just too big. There's too many different languages. There's too many different softwares and technologies and pieces that are used, and it's impossible. So how do you break it down? Well, let's just take a look. I mean, if you're not familiar, there's a lot of different CMS platforms. There's a lot of different coding languages. And it really depends, what do you want to focus in? Specialize in a niche. What is your niche going to be? Are you going to be doing a lot of back-end development? Because then you're going to want to know these technologies such as PHP, Python, maybe Ruby if you're back in 2000. And if you're going to do front end, you're going to want to know CSS. You're going to want to know HTML. You're going to want to know some of these JavaScript frameworks and JavaScript itself. So start with the fundamentals. If you're getting into web, you're going to want to start with HTML. It's as simple as that. I mean, I remember back in the day when they had like MySpaces and stuff, and they actually made you code out stuff in HTML to show it on your profile, which was, people just did it. They didn't even notice that they were doing it. They'd add the strong tags, they'd add the paragraph tags, and they would build out, they were actually coding their own web pages. Now, things have gotten a little bit easier over the years, and that's not as much, but you're going to want to start with HTML. It is the foundational language, if you even call it a language, because really it's just a markup, language. It's not really a programming language. But it has a lot of easy fundamentals that makes diving into software development, web development, just a good foundational place to start. From there, I would say, even if you want to be more of a software engineer, you're going to want to pick up some of the CSS skills for structuring websites and designing websites, and then also some of the JavaScript for the interactivity and making websites, load and things like that, all the features that a programming language would do for your website. And I would start with JavaScript. Now from there, that's where you really want to break out now. Are you going to be a front-end developer with those type of skills, or are you going to be a back-end developer? Or are you going to be a full-stack developer where you do all those? But you have to start in one direction. And me personally, I'm a full stack. I do front-end, I do back-end. However, I prefer front end. It's funner for me. I like to see what I'm building. I like to see the results of my hard work. And that's why I stick there. However, if you're going to go into back end, Python is a great language. A lot of jobs out there. This is a language that's going to be more popular in the future. So just finding which direction you want to go and then sticking with those technologies. Then from there, it's really going to depend what type of work is being thrown at you. Is your boss having you go in and do more back-end development, or is he having you do stuff in languages that maybe you're not familiar with? What is paying your bills, and what is important to learn from those skills that are out there? So really get into focusing on specific niches of what exactly you want to do. So guys, I know that there's a lot out there to learn. I know it's not always easy. I know that it can be overwhelming, but you have to start somewhere. And I say take it piece by piece. Take one step at a time. Don't try to learn everything in a month. It's just not possible. But if you do take small chunks and small chunks and small chunks, it starts to build up. And then you get to a point where you can go into things that maybe you hadn't, previously wanted to learn, but now you're starting to learn them because it's something that interests you, or it's something that you're going to need those skills going forward. So with that being said, guys, I know there's a lot to learn out there. I know it can be overwhelming. Take it step by step. Have fun with it. you shouldn't be in this industry if you're not enjoying it, because honestly, that's the only thing that really drives, because it is a lot of work. It's a lot of learning. So if you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments. Again, leave a like, a subscribe. That stuff really helps as far as, making these videos every day. So I hope you guys are well, and we'll catch you in the next video. Peace.